Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. My dear brothers and sisters, today we spoke about the story of Prophet Lut alayhi salam and the struggle that he faced from his community, from his people. And throughout the stories were mentioned in different places in the Quran, he described the reality and he mentioned the reasons. And bear with me and look at that, what he said to them. And all of these, like summarizing the three major reasons behind all of these corruptions. One of the main reasons when Fitrah would be corrupted. When the Fitrah, the pure innate nature, will be corrupted, so the person will be shahwani, will be just a person following his desires with no control. And that's why he said to them, بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ مُسْرِفُونَ. بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ مُسْرِفُونَ. So you have excessive use, following your desires. You have no limit. And that's a human. When start following their desires, will have no limit where the cab or they should stop. Because they were never ever going to be satisfied. They were never going to have the happiness. Always going to be in a miserable situation. That's why they try, one the other and then jump from one shahwa to the other shahwa. لا ترم بالمعاصي كسر شهوتها إن الطعام يقوي شهوة النهم. A lot of people, they will say to themselves and they're fooling themselves, let's be satisfied until I reach the level of saturation from the shahwat, and then I will repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, one shahwa will lead you to the other. That's what's happened. So that has to be stopped from the beginning. And that's why Islam called for purity. And that's why in the beginning they tell you even how to have the gender interaction, and how each gender has to stand unique and not to imitate with the other genders, even the way how you dressed. To keep that line in between and to keep that clear. And also he told them, as mentioned in Surah Ash-Shu'ara, بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ عَادُونَ. And that's the second reason. تَجَاوُزُ الْحَدِّ. When the person will go beyond the limit and exceed the boundaries that was drawing by the teaching, ta'addi, that's where lead to all these corruptions. That's, if there's no guideline and there's no rules that you follow, of course you will make your own rules. And you will have no limit, because what's going to limit your freedom? As you can complain, this is a person of freedom. All the things that limited your freedom, the high morals and the divine teaching. And you are not considering those morals, and you are not even respect the teaching of God. So that's why you will go with no limit. And that's why he said to them, بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ عَادُونَ. And the third reason, فَسَادُ الْعَقْلِ, the corruption in their mind. And he told them, بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ تَجْهَلُونَ. You are ignorant people. When the person lack of knowledge or following other person that's brainwashed, as a person just blind imitation and following the waves in the society and has no rules, that's what's going to happen. And that's a normal result. And that's what we are seeing nowadays. The manifestation of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he said, إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِ فَاصْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِ فَاصْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. This hadith can be understood in two ways. One way is that where any action that's not a sort of shame, then you can do it. إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِ. If it's not going to bring you any shame, then you can go ahead and practice that. However, the other meaning is more appear. إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِ فَاصْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. That means if you lack of haya, and you have no modesty and no chastity, and none of that in your mind and your heart, then do whatever you want. That do whatever you want, that's a warning. That's tahdeed. Do whatever you want, because would be a bad result. A human, when they lack of discipline, and they have no control for their desires, and they have no rules that to follow, they're going to live a life that's worse than animals. Allah blessed us with desires and intellect, and work together. Both working together. Your intellect and your desires working together. So you know when you are using your desires in the right way. Because our desires are our motivation. But when there's no intellect and no hikmah, no wisdom, and no aql, that's where your desires are going to control you. In that situation, will be in a level worse than animals, as Allah described in the Quran, أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. So what we are seeing here, it's a lack of fitrah, lack of discipline following the right rules, and they claiming that they have absolute freedom. So there's no following in the religion, there's no following in the teaching. And at the same time, following, their desires. That's how we see in this society that's inviting for immorality and spreading the falsehood. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. May Allah protect our society, our families, our children from major challenging that coming and can become worse and worse. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all. Ameen. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.